Hey everybody, welcome once again. I am Rebel. This is 4% Marketing Training. Today we're going to talk about filling the gaps in your online marketing system. But first, before I get started, I wanted to talk to you about something I saw today, and I see this all the time. And I remember this probably a time when I thought this guy was probably really smart and knew what was going on and everything. And now I see things at a completely different way. And let me tell you why. So I'm at the gym, I'm working out like I do every morning, and I like to go through my Twitter feeds and comment and all that. Well, here's a guy who's probably making a lot more money than a lot of people, and he seems pretty smart, probably wrote a book or two, I don't know. But he comments on there, the return on email marketing is $38 for every dollar you invest. It's time to get serious about your email marketing. Read this. And I thought, you know what? There's a lot of people out there going to read that and say, oh my God, that's like 38 to 1 return on my investment for email marketing. And I've been hearing that email is dead and I got to read this thing. And I didn't read it because it's garbage. Anybody who says that, the first things when you're thinking like a marketer, you go, well, okay, he's email marketing. So it's a list, his list, right? What niche, what product, what's the price point, what are the upsells and downsells, how many times did he mail? There's so many variables involved in this, and I'm telling you right now, friends, I can find you a guy that runs traffic to cold targeted traffic and converts it at $38 for every dollar spent. And besides, how do you what's the dollar spent on email? Do you divide your get response account payment per month by 30 days and do you work it out that way? It doesn't matter. The point is, folks, I'm trying to tell you is when you look at that, you have to see it for what it is and disregard, which is why if you're here in the 4%, you can safely turn off all the other emails you're getting from anybody but Vic and your sponsor in this group. And listen to Vic, listen to Chris Record from Tech, and follow their training and disregard every single thing else there is. Why? Because if you're listening to so many different people, you're going to get confused. If you watch Vic's live streams, if you're not, you're crazy. If you're watching him, he said, I think it was on the last one, where he chose that he was going to do this method, and he found this guy, and he's going to do what he's doing and not worry about what anybody else is doing because he's got to focus on this method. And he was aligned with that method, and there you go. So here's the thing. If you're watching the live, you know by now whether or not you're aligned with what we're doing here. Period. If you're not, find something you are. The single biggest thing is going to be having an absolute commitment and a the feeling. It's not the commitment I'm looking for. Anyway, you're gonna be completely aligned with what you're doing. You know what the product's about. You know what it's capable of. You are confident, and you can put that out. You're gonna vibrate with it. It's like people are gonna know that when you're talking about it, you're absolutely convinced that what you're saying is true. Okay, so very important. Anyway, learn to recognize when a marketing piece or an interest piece is irrelevant because what they're talking about is not necessarily true. Because I guarantee you that guy can show you a case study of doing that, but when you look at, the ROI of email is X. That's ridiculous. It was at one time for one person at the specific market with a specific offering, and on down the line. It's ridiculous. Don't sweat stuff like that. Okay, back to the topic at hand, which is filling in the gaps. Now, guys, if there were a way that I could put down a system and say step by step, you do these things and this is the result you would get, I would be, Richard Branson would be a pauper compared to me within 2 weeks, because everyone on the planet would give everything they owned to have that. Follow these steps, get this massive result. That can't happen. It can't be devised. It can't be come up with. No one has ever done it. It's impossible. And with apologies to everybody who think that anything's possible, okay, I'll give you that once in the universe chance of however you're going to figure that math, but no one can do it. It can't be done. See, if you're following along, and it starts in the funnel that you come through, and you're being told about how you wrap your system around the product or service that you're selling. Okay? Well, here's the gap. You wrap around the system that wraps around the product. You get that? This is a very critical thing. You know right now that the funnels that you're being provided with are good. They're going to work. And when you present them, you're adding your own flavor to it, your own personality and everything. So if you go at it, here's my funnel, and there's someone else that is talking about the system, it's okay, but if you haven't made it clear, they're going to think that they're following that guy. They're going to think that that guy's the one that they're into, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, who's this other person? All of a sudden you appear, you're sending them emails, they don't even know your name. So one secret is to get in front of that. In your funnel, you make, hey, I am so-and-so. This is what I want you to, we've got this guy who describes our system and everything. He's great. He's coming on here. Here's his name. He's on the next window, and I want you to watch this thing to the end. And when you do, when you get involved, I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna talk to you again. I'm gonna show you what bonuses I'm gonna offer you for coming in with me. Click the button. Enjoy the show. I'm out, and then you're done. And now they've seen you. They know who you are, and your personality is starting to come through. Okay, that is one gap that you can fill. Do you have to do that? Not necessarily, but eventually you're going to want to do that because you are the one that you want to be presenting these things. Okay? The sooner you do it, the better off you'll be. Everything you do is going to increase your chances of success. Okay, so that's gap number one. Well, if you've gone through all the videos in the system and you've set everything up, I told you yesterday, everything you leave out is going to hold you back a certain amount. Nobody knows how much. A critical thing could happen. You could be rocking and rolling. It's like, okay, I don't need Click Magic. I don't have to do this. I'm just gonna use my raw link and do everything right. And you're starting to make sales and everything, and bam, your link gets banned from everywhere. Now what? Now you have to go back and reset. Meanwhile, all your stuff, you had customers coming in, your traffic is still running, and you can't stop it because you already paid for it, and all of a sudden you got a nightmare because you left something out. This can happen. Will it? I don't know. You take your chances. Just understand that everything that's presented to you that you don't do is going to hold you back a little bit. Okay, so you've got everything set up. You put your wrapper around the wrapper. Okay, your different levels, and now you're getting people in. And I have this theory on funnels. If someone enters your funnel, they're in your target market, they enter your funnel and they do not buy, the funnel has failed. Because the objective is someone doesn't know you from anything. They're cold. They see what you've got, and that is what they want because you're doing what Vic said, and you're selling the result that they're after. And contrary to everyone who tell you that people have to know you, like you, and trust you, is absolutely untrue. If you are on fire and there's a guy with a bucket of water, you're not going to care who he is. Please, dude, throw the bucket of water on me and put me out. Those are the people you're looking for. And of course, there's varying degrees, but that's the guy you want. The guy that's on fire and you have water. If you get in front of that guy, trust me, he's buying. Doesn't care who you are. And that is the truth. I know, I've seen me do it, and there are things that just, it rings true for the know, like, and trust over time. But I don't know about you, I pay rent on the month, and I can't wait for some guy to finally get around to buying. I'm looking for the guy who's ready right now. So are you. So the funnel fails But see, in the beginning of the funnel, you put them into an email list, right? And so the reason you do that is because life happens. They could be sitting here looking at this video and who knows, the dog starts running out in the yard or the mailman shows up. You got to go pick the kid up from school. Doesn't matter what it is, they're going to get shifted out of that frame of mind where they were with you. And so you use email as a constant form of communication so that, hey, dude, I just want to call you back. I know that you missed this. Here's the link to make sure you keep them coming back. Here is the second gap, your follow-up. Everyone knows the money's in the list, and then they'll tell you the fortune's in the follow-up. Well, how do you follow up? It ain't with your blog. Trust me, the only reason you have a blog is to get people on a list. Matter of fact, the only reason you're doing anything is to get people on an email list, because that's how you talk to people. You know, social media and all this is great, but all of those things, no matter what you're doing, one goal is to get them on an email list, because that's, you can talk to them person to person, just like we're doing right now. That's what you want. So the gap is the emails in the system. Everyone who has any type of system, they're going to put emails in there. You know, they're probably pretty good as far as they go. But the thing is, if you have 10,000 people sending out the exact same emails, you run the risk that someone has seen it before, and they're also bland because they don't have you. They don't have your personality. Remember, you started out putting the wrapper around the system. You are that. That's you. That's you coming across to people. And they relate to you, they align with you, they like you, whatever. They can feel you. And you can't do that with an email that someone else has written unless you've worked with them and they're a writer, and they can bring out from you in an interview how you are, who you are, what your voice is. So if you're using those emails, your pretty much only chance is that the person is very, very hungry, and they're going to click a link in an email just because they've forgotten, like, oh, there's that thing. And that's it. The rest of them not. The funnel fails and you have no backup. That person is going to fall off a cliff. You'll never see him again. So you can take the emails provided and you can beef them out yourself or whatever, or you can get someone to assist you in writing them. All right? And you must do this, because if you lose the opportunity to begin an ongoing conversation with these people as they come through your funnel, that's the biggest opportunity you have. There's a certain number of buy right away, and then my opinion, 7 to 10 days are the hottest ones. If they haven't bought after 30 days, they're just somebody on your list. Eventually they may buy, but they're no longer your focus. They can buy or not. You're busy getting fresh people in, talking to them, finding the alignment, selling, and bringing them into where you can move them forward. Okay? So anyway, that's the two main gaps I wanted to talk about today. The understanding that you have the system that wraps around the offer, but you wrap around that. You're the one that puts the personality into those things. And then the second gap would be after they've gone through the funnel and they haven't bought, the funnel failed, now you market through the back end. And without personally written emails by you or someone who's worked with you, you're not going to have that in your emails. You're not going to have your personality in the emails. You're not going to have that personal thing going back and forth between you and the person that's on your list, and they will fall through the cracks and be gone forever. So there you go. There's two main gaps in your marketing funnel, and after that you can do different things. We'll talk about those as we go along, and I sincerely hope this is helping people who are looking at the system and they understand it's good, but they're just not really sure where to go. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about what you should be doing when you are waiting for some other instruction or something hasn't come through, because there is no reason you should ever wait for anything. Ever. Never, ever, ever. You don't wait. See, waiting is losing. It's a I'm a long haul trucker. I do this, and I haven't driven in a long time so far, but you know, I still can. And the thing is, a truck, it costs like $140 a day to sit. That's an expense, and insurance and all this. If it's not moving, it's not making money. You're the same way. You're that truck. If you are not moving, you are costing yourself money instead of making yourself money. And keep that in mind all the time. Think of, what could I do? Trust me, folks, if you're in this, if you know what I'm talking about, if you got your system and everything, if you can't look around and find 100 things that you could do, then look harder, because it's there. Do something. Okay, well, I've already run the risk of going too long, and that's fine, because this is some good stuff that you're going to have to know. I'll be back tomorrow with some more good information, and remember, fill in those gaps in your marketing system, and think for yourself. Use the 2-window technique when you're learning something. 1 to learn, 1 to do, and then when you find something out, tell everybody else about it, and they'll be glad. They'll be happy to have you around. That's all I got for right now. I'm Rebel from Rockit and Rebel, and this has been 4% Marketing Training. I'm out.